Hey, what's going on? Trisha Martin here. Pleased to see you again. Or for the first time. I don't know. If you remember in my last two videos, what I did was I took you through the basics of how to use Deep Dream Generator to make either your own art or pre-made graphics just more interesting and make them stand out, especially if you're doing print on demand. So I took a graphic from AllSunsets and I put it through Deep Dream Generator. Took a graphic from Placeit.net, put it through Deep Dream Generator. And today what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both of the graphics in Photoshop and I'm going to put them together to make, a standalone graphic. If you don't have Photoshop, that's okay. There's a lot of alternatives to Photoshop. If you want to learn how to use something like Affinity Designer, you can go check out Detour Shirts. Tuna, he has a lot of great tutorials about that in Canva. Ryan Hogue has Canva tutorials and Photopea, I don't know. It's a photo thing, however you pronounce it. Anyway, so today, yes, I'm going to take you into Photoshop and whatever editing software or app that you choose to use. You can just apply the concepts that I'm going to show you to make your design stand out. It doesn't have to be as complicated because I'm kind of going to go to the extreme a little bit. My name's not Barbara Russ. But anyway, let's get into this video. Allons-y! Aw, crap. So, here we are in Photoshop. You don't have to have Photoshop, like I said earlier. I'll have links down in the doobly doo for, you know, different alternatives to Photoshop. And if you don't have Photoshop, what do you use? I mean, what do you guys use? Tell me down below. I like to explore new apps and software and stuff. So let me know. Anyway, so in the previous two videos, we took a graphic from allsunsets.com and we took it through Deep Dream Generator to make it all fancy and stuff. And here's how that guy came out, right? Here's one thing I want to tell you. When I start out, I usually like to start with just the transparent alpha, right? So I can put any background behind it I want to, if that's what I'm going for. Usually I just use the transparent alpha, but I want to test my designs on different colors to make sure they'll stand out on white, black, purple, pink, whatever colors, So I'll have a white background and I'll have a black background. Now, today I'm pretty much going to just keep my black background up for a while because I kind of like the way the graphics look it's easier on my eyes. It's just what my brain likes better. You can do whatever you want, but anyway. So yes, we took this sunset, we put it through Deep Dream Generator, and it came out like this. Very cool. Kind of flat and everything, but I'm going to fix that. Then we took a graphic from Placeit.net, Cthulhu, and we put him through Deep Dream Generator so he'd look good for his date with the sunset, and that's what we came up with. All right, I'm going to turn my sunset back on to show you. Wow, okay, that looks weird, right? You can't put that on a shirt. Who the hell would wear that? I mean, Cthulhu's handsome and all, and Sunset's hot and all, but we're not going to wear that on a t-shirt. So what I did was, to make it kind of pop out a little bit, first of all, I wanted to keep the green eyes of the original one. So let me disable this layer mask. Oh no, I need to re-enable it. Sorry, I thought it was... Hey. Anyway, I wanted to keep the green eyes of the original guy, so I put a layer mask on him and painted out his eyes so they'd stand out. Now, he still kind of is blending in with the sunset a little bit, so what we want to do is, or what I did was, I added some layer effects. See how that kind of pops him out a little bit from the background? I have like bevel and emboss, stroke, outer glow, and a drop shadow on them. Now, as you can see, when I turn on the white layer, And the sunset's still looking a little flat, though. We can kind of see, the ridges of Cthulhu's ears here a little better. So what I did was, to make sunset pop out a little more, I also put layer effects on sunset. Go on. Yes. I have bevel and emboss, stroke, drop shadow. Play with whatever controls you have, the same concepts for whatever programmer app you're using. And as you can see, that makes it pop out a little more against white if someone were going to wear a white shirt, or, whatever color you're going to use. Here's effects off, effects on, effects off, effects on. Yes, now as you can see here, Cthulhu, without his layer effects, he looks a little weird because I moved him up because of the stroke I have around him is kind of thick, and it was going into this stripey of the sunset, and I didn't want that to happen. So I moved him up to the bottom of the stroke, was matching the bottom line of the sunset here. That's, oh, come on, do it. Why aren't you coming on? Oh, my effects are not working. I just want to turn you on. There we go. Yay, I did it. All right, so that's the effects on and the effects off. See how they kind of pop him off of that sunset? But I think he's still blending in a little bit here. So what I want to do is change the hue and saturate, or the hue mainly of the sunset back here, so he pops out. He's a warm color. So I want to make that sunset, all the warm colors back here, I want to make them cool colors so he really comes to the forefront. He's rising from the depths of the sea. And I guess it turns into kind of a moonset instead of a sunset. So I put a hue and saturation layer mask on it, and this is what happens. It turns it whatever color you want it to be, because you can just do that slider back and forth, and you're going to go through the spectrum of colors. And I landed on this color. That's off. That's on. See how it makes him... Russ, my name isn't Barbara, and you know that. It's okay. I still love you. Anyway, that's the layer, the adjustment layer on, adjustment layer off. So, in later video, well, let me know down in the comments if you'd like me to give you a more in-depth, like a real tutorial on what I'm doing, which is using a bunch of layer masks. If you want to learn more about actually using Photoshop, I highly recommend going to visit Phlearn. That's P-H-L-E-A-R-N. Phlearn on YouTube. They taught me everything I know about Photoshop. Amazing, amazing channel. You won't regret that if you have Photoshop. Anyway, yeah, and I, if you want me to teach you what I'm doing, basically, please let me know in the comments, and I'll teach you everything I know so far. But yeah, so that's not there. Okay, that's not the layer mask. Anyway, so then what I like to do is I make a stamp visible of this, which means I'm just making all of the layers come together into one picture, to one image, so I can affect it all at once, right? I still have all my original layers here, but yes, once you stamp visible, well, I didn't want to show you that yet. Oh, no spoilers. Anyway, I did just spoil it. But yes, so you can stamp visible and take it into Camera Raw in Photoshop, and you can play around with all different kinds of settings, get way more tweaky in the details and whatnot. So that's what I did, and here's the image. Here's how it came out. Now you see how it's kind of washed out before I do that, and when I took it into Camera Raw, we took up the, we played with the hue and saturation, we took up the clarity, the vibrance, all kinds of cool things, the contrast. And yeah, you can see what a difference that makes. Anyway, I'm going to be taking Mr. Cthulhu, the Cthulhu Sunset Baby, And I'm going to be making it into a design for shirts and stuff for my print-on-demand platforms that I use. And I use Merch by Amazon. I use Redbubble. Other people use Teespring and Zazzle and, all kinds of different platforms out there that you can use. I'll be putting this on my Redbubble and in my Merch by Amazon. Um, but yeah, I might add some text to it and make a saying, a funny saying. I'll make a standalone design because you can always scale things like this. You can use the standalone for people who don't like text. You can use funny text for people who do. Now, the niche research on this is going to be interesting because what the hell do I say about this thing? To recap, I walked you through how to take pre-made graphics from places like AllSunsets.com and Placeit.net. And there are a lot of other places like Creative Fabrica is another one that you can use. Get these graphics, man, but you gotta read the terms of service because they want you to modify them. They want you to make them your own. Don't use them out of the box. And if you use them out of the box, you're not going to stand out next to your competition because there's 100 other people using them out of the box. Which design would you rather buy, right? The one that stands out. So I'm showing you how to follow the rules, make the graphics your own in whatever program or app you use. And yeah, just apply kind of the concepts with the tools that you have available to what I've said here. We went through a little bit of color theory where at first he was blending in too much because they're both warm colors. Research some color theory. It's actually very fascinating. And it works. So I put him on a cool color, the sunset, I mean kind of a moonset, because I wanted him to pop out to the foreground. So you saw how that worked, and you saw how I used my black background and my white background to see how it would look on different colors. Go back and watch my other video about that. But yeah, when you save it out, make sure you turn off those backgrounds. Like the black background that I was using, please turn it off before you save it and put it on things. Or Russ, I'm not Barbara. He knows this, but it's okay. He's having a moment. Anyway, you turn off that background. I've done that by accident more than once, and I've gone to like my Redbubble or whatever to upload my design. I'm like, oh man, totally forgot to turn off the background. You want to do that so that you have the transparent background, so that whatever the color of the shirt, the hoodie, the iPhone case, whatever color you have it on, it's going to look good for whatever, people want. Anyway, that's the end of my video. I hope you liked it. I hope you found it useful. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I check my comments every single day on my channel. And if I'm not working, I will get back to you and I will answer them. I will probably make videos about some of your questions if I can't answer them in a good comment, a concise way. Anyway, I hope you had a good time and I'll see you next time. Bye.